it doesn't come easy. Like, you have to sometimes go through all those lines, and you have to go through the sandwich line, you have to go through the salad line. It's a long process, and you really have to put in the work, but it's worth it.
And also on campus, and I'm talking to anyone this might happen to other people, at her school, they're giving away food constantly.
I mean, bring that up,
all the time. So tell me how you handle that, and then also how did you handle the snacks in your room?
Yeah. So, yes, like she said, there's a lot of free food on campus, which is great, and that's a big reason a lot of people go to my school is because they're
really
handing out. No, seriously, people tell me they're like, "Oh yeah, free food." Like,
and it's
a big.
It's great food,
point,
but it's never healthy.
It's not. I walk to class every day, and there are groups out handing out donuts or handing out pizza for lunch.
Big breakfast burritos that sound healthy, but they're not.
They're not.
Or smoothies that you don't know what's in.
And it's so tempting because, as a college student, it's like...
It's free
You're going to take any free food you can get that's not in the dining hall because that gets boring. Yes. But I had to deal with that walking to class every day, and sometimes I would go to different events at night with organizations I was in, and they would be having free pizza there, and it was like around dinner time, and so...
That's tough.
It's tough because it's like, well, the pizza's right there, and it's dinner time, and I'm hungry.
And then you got to plan how many points would that be.
Exactly. So I had to really put on a powerful mindset,
I think it's all a mind game.
Excuse me. Okay.
Oh,
sorry, I had to fix my voice. Okay, so
got it.
I had to really be good about saying no to people, which is much easier said than done. But I think what kind of kept me on track and what helped me say no to all of the free food was that I knew that I had something of my own to look forward to when I got back to my room at night. Or I had a meal plan for myself that I was like, this is going to be really good. Or I was going to go to Chipotle that night and get a burrito bowl.
Smart. You pre-plan.
So,
pre-plan.
Yeah, in my head. Sometimes I wouldn't put it in the app until I had it, but I would have it in my head like, okay, yes, this looks really good, but just think of how you're going to feel tonight when you have this meal you've been planning for. Or a lot of times, like I was saying earlier at night, I would eat a lot because that was kind of
your time.
My stress coping mechanism. I can't talk. Anyway, and so this kind of goes to your other part of the question. I had to really get some different food in that room of mine because... the popcorn, I guess, do people call it trigger foods? Like, if
you gave that away.
I kept it in my room, it just wasn't going to be good for me because maybe I wouldn't have eaten it, but I would still see it every day, and it just...
So did you gave it away, right? To
yes, I remember I had a huge box, and I put all of my unhealthy, I guess, food in there, and I took it downstairs. I had a group of friends on the first floor of my dorm. I put it outside of their rooms and I said, hey guys, I texted and said, hey guys, I just dropped off a bunch of food I'm not going to be eating, so you feel free to take it. And they loved it because it's free food.
And it got it out of your dorm.
And it got it out of my room, and I was able to help them and give them food. It was a win-win. But I had to go to the grocery store, and it was hard at first without a car, but sometimes I would just walk over to Kroger. Luckily, we had that in walking distance, but... I had to find some WW-friendly snacks, and I really like sweet stuff at night, and so I started getting, Teddy Grahams.
I talked about Teddy Grahams. She got me hooked on them.
Like graham crackers.
They're a trigger food for me, but I have some in our pantry
one of my favorite things to do at night, I like a little sweet and salty mix, so I would have some Teddy Grahams with some pretzel goldfish, and I'd mix them together in a little bowl. I'd count them out, I'd put them in, and it was just as good as having the kettle corn. But if I had that at night, if I knew I was going to have that as my little nightly snack, it would get me through the day, because I'd be like, okay, I can get through this, I have my plan, I'm excited, I'm looking forward to this at the end of the night. And I don't know, I guess that just kind of helped me stay focused, to have things to look forward to, and I would allow myself to go to different places than just the dining hall, because it does get a little tiring if you go there 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I'd let myself go to a little restaurant near campus, and I'd still like have things within my points, but it would kind of be exciting for me.
Let me ask you real fast about like restaurants that a college student might be going to. What did you find that were Weight Watcher friendly?
Yeah, so college students are really big into like fast food and stuff, which I'm like fine without a lot of that, but my 2 favorite, I guess, fast food kind of places / restaurants are Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, and so I always used to go there a lot, and
You still do?
I still do, and I found a way to make those work with Weight Watchers. WW, sorry. And I'm sure a lot of you probably know about that.
Well, you never know. People are looking for ideas.
Yeah, because I think at Chipotle, that's one of my favorite places. I would go there a lot, but I would just get a burrito bowl without the rice, because the rice adds a lot of points.
Okay.
And of course it's great, but...
We went to lunch yesterday, and she helped me out, because she knew right away. She's like,
I
this
just
is what you
remembered.
need at Chipotle.
Yeah.
So... You're about to say what you put.
Oh, I'll just tell you what my order was while I was on WW, and it probably should still be my order now, but I mix it up a little these days. I got a bowl with pinto beans, chicken, veggies, pico, and cheese. And that came out to be...
And lettuce.
And lettuce if I wanted it to be a salad. Occasionally I'd make it a salad, sometimes I'd just make it a bowl. It was up to how I was feeling, but I believe that was only 7 points. I mean, only. But the chicken is 3 points, the beans were 0, the cheese was 4, and the cheese is kind of what like, for me, it was either rice or cheese, because rice is 6 points, cheese is 4 points, and either one of those is going to add some points to your meal. If you go without rice or cheese, you're probably pretty good.
But you're not going to be as full, probably. Or
yeah, and it's not going to, at least in my opinion, it just doesn't taste as good.
You're a cheese girl.
I love cheese, so I had to do that for myself, but you could get away with less points if you didn't. Obviously, they have their salsas and everything, which I also think are 0.
Yeah. And Chick-fil-A, they have nuggets and the grilled chicken sandwich.
Yes, the grilled nuggets are great because those are 0, right? But we had a Chick-fil-A on campus, but it was very limited, and they didn't have grilled nuggets, so I would either get the grilled chicken sandwich or just the regular nuggets.
Which aren't bad.
And I would not get fries, I would get a fruit cup.
Yes.
Which was really nice. It was hard not to have fries, don't get me wrong.
But and everyone around you is getting them. Then they're getting milkshakes and everything.
So anyway, I definitely stuck to that a lot, but I'm trying to think. Honestly, there were a lot of moments where I was going to different restaurants or different places around campus just to be social with friends and stuff, and I kind of walked in not even knowing like what I would be able to eat, but I was able to kind of get, I mean, I think WW kind of gave me the skills to learn, even if I didn't have the exact number of points on something when I walked in, I could kind of figure it out myself, because by tracking and by practicing with all these other kinds of foods, I kind of had an idea of what was healthy, what wasn't.
Yeah, like, you get into that zone. Okay, so did exercise play a part in any of this?
Definitely. I think it played a very big part because as I was saying earlier, I didn't really ever exercise for semester, and I'm sure that kind of contributed to me gaining weight, but I started exercising a lot when I was on WW. Maybe a little too much at some points. But, you know, when I am dedicated to something, I will go for it. And so it really, I think, helped me, though, because it was another, like, accountability thing. It helped me to have a time on my schedule where I would go and work out, and it wasn't even so much because I was using it to lose... I was using it to lose weight, but it became something that just felt good for me, and...
Stress reliever, too.
Yeah, it was like, it kind of became to the point where no matter how much I was losing or how much it contributed to my loss, it made me feel so much better than when I was not exercising. And so I definitely think just for how it made me feel, it was worth it for me, and I did it a lot, and I tried to mix it up. So I had the rec center across from my dorm, and I went there a few times a week. And then I also went to yoga a few times a week, and I still go to yoga a ton. I mean, I still try to exercise a lot, but I tried to have that mix because I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, well, it sounds good to have some cardio and some like strength training and have that balance. I know cardio is supposed to be really good for weight loss, and so I tried to do a lot of that, but I'm also just not very good at cardio, so that was hard.
Yeah, so you got back into it.
Yeah.
And to this day you are. She's going to be a yoga instructor. She's getting certified for that, so that's awesome.
We'll see.
Okay, so I bet everyone wants to know, did you lose the weight that you gained? And if so, how are you keeping it off?
Yes, this is probably like the big reveal. So I did lose the weight that I gained. Do you want me to tell them how much?
It's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I just didn't know if that was cool or not. But I ended up losing, I think, 18 pounds from January to April. It was some
end of March.
End of March. It was I think it was
probably.
end of March.
Yeah.
So like beginning of January, end of March, I lost about 18 pounds. And so I don't know if that's good or not, but
I think that's great.
I think considering the circumstances I was in,
Absolutely.
it was kind of tough. I was hoping I could have done it sooner, but I was just happy to have it done. But with that, maintaining was my next big step.
Challenge.
And so I felt like for a while I had to keep staying on tracking all the time, which you definitely should. I mean, I'm not saying it's...
What worked for you?
Yeah.
Because it may work for someone else.
For me, at first, I was still in that zone, so I was trying to track things, I was scanning everything, and I was trying to allow myself to eat a little more, to exercise a little less, because I was kind of going to an extreme at some point.
She kept trying to lose more weight, though, too. And you realized your body did not want you to lose that weight.
Yes.
You're at a very healthy weight. That's a big thing.
That is a big thing, I guess.
You realized, I'm healthy, I'm happy, why am I still trying to lose?
I think the number, it can really mess with your head sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean anyone, but me as a college student, I always felt like I had to lose more weight. And I just, even though I had gotten to my goal, I didn't really see a huge difference looking in the mirror every day. I was like,
you could,
well,
though.
I probably could lose more weight because all these other girls around me are so much, thinner than I am, so much more toned. And so I kept kind of trying I was trying to justify it like I wasn't, but I was. And it didn't work so well.
Her body fought it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up, I think, gaining a little bit of that back, actually, that I had lost. And I'm not saying it's, I don't know. I'm not trying.
You should stay within that healthy range and listen to your body is what you're...
Yeah, I'm not saying gain the weight back, but for me, I realized maybe I had gone a little too low, and it took a little getting...
Yes. Because she lost more than 18, and then you gained some of that back.
That's true. I did gain, I gained some of it back, but anyway.
Because she went too low, in my opinion, as a mom.
Yeah, as a mom.
Yeah.
She knows. But now, these days, I've kind of learned from a lot of my mistakes, and I'm not perfect, and I still go into those phases sometimes where I'm like, oh, I really need to lose weight, and I'll be honest, I haven't even weighed myself in a while because...
That's great.
It's good and bad.
I mean,
I should be.
You're going off how your clothes feel and how you feel, right?
Yes, I'm going more off of how I'm feeling, and I'm trying to just have balance. And so, in the dining hall at school, I still use a lot of the same techniques that I used while I was on WW. I go to all the different stations still. I make creative meals. I don't eat kettle corn at night anymore at all. I haven't even had that since before I started.
Yeah,
like, it's
over a year.
out of my life now. But at the same time, I'm not, like, restricting myself hardcore. Like, if there's free food on campus, if there's an event that I'm going to, and something just sounds really good, and I know that I'm going to be healthy the rest of the day or whatever.
Or balance it out the next day or whatever.
Right, or if I'm exercising a lot, then okay, I'll go for it. Like, I'll live my life a little more.
Yes. It's taught
fully.
you how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I also still try to exercise consistently because I feel like exercise for me is really big in maintaining my weight, and I think if I stop exercising, I really have to be careful with what I'm eating. Like, but if I exercise, it gives me a little more flexibility.
But one thing I have learned from you too is that I think you really have to enjoy the exercise you're doing.
Yes.
Or it becomes more of a
chore,
and you don't want to do it and you don't stick with it. So what you're saying, kind of, tell me if I'm wrong, is the exercising balanced with kind of being aware of what you're eating is how you're maintaining. And since you are, and your exercise is yoga, because that's what you really love. And you do other stuff, but you really love that. And that's the hard workout, man. I've seen her come out. She's
do
sweaty.
yoga sculpt a lot, if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah.
It's like yoga with weights, so it's kind of
really
like strength,
that.
Cardio.
And it helps stress and everything. But you do that and then you balance it. But then maybe if you start feeling a certain way, you're like, okay, I need to watch what I'm eating the next few days or something. You've just come, it works for you. It may not work for everyone else, but that's what works for you. And it's been working. Plus, she's 19, almost 20, so that's going for her.
I don't know, guys. I feel like my metabolism, I feel like it's slowing down.
Oh, stop.
But
okay, especially if people are over 50 watching this Meredith.
I
like,
know.
Come on.
I'm trying to make the most of it right now.
Yes,
I know
enjoy it.
It's just gonna get worse from here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So would you, if someone is struggling in college or somewhere else where it's a difficult situation for them to eat, do you think WW would work for them?
Yes, I think short answer, definitely. But I just have to say, you shouldn't expect it to be easy because you're going to have to put in the time and the work and the planning, really, to make it work for you.
And
I feel like it's no matter whether you are in college or you're not. Like, I feel like you have to plan and work hard no matter what your situation is.
I saw a change in you. I'm interrupting you.
That's okay.
But would you say, because you were down in the dumps over the holidays, but then when she got, I think, this is my opinion, when she got a plan in her mind, or she said, this is what I'm going to do to lose weight, even if you hadn't lost your weight yet, you were a different person. You were much happier because you thought, I'm taking charge of this.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think it was. And it's interesting you say that because I didn't really think about that then. I was just kind of like, I'm doing this, but I'm glad that it did, like, appear that I was, like, happier and...
Because you had a plan. Because when you were...
I guess that proves my
sad,
point.
you were like, I don't know what to do. And then when you found WW, and again, we don't work for WW at all.
No,
we're not endorsing.
No.
But it was like, this could work for me. And I think it did because it's a realistic way. Even though she's in a tough environment, it's probably one of the only plans that could really work in a college environment. I mean, I guess it could if you were eating meals that are delivered to you or something. I mean, I guess you could do that. And then just avoid the dining hall altogether.
Yeah.
But that would be tough. That would be tough.
It would be.
It'd be very expensive.
Yeah, true. I'm a college student on a budget here. But yeah, I think if you're willing to plan and work for it and realize that not every week is going to be perfect and there are going to be mistakes that you make and things you have to learn from, like, if you can just be okay with that and keep going anyway, I think you'll be successful. And also, if you can find a community or even just one person who you can talk to about it, who might be doing something similar, I think that really helps too. So,
and I think a lot of people love to do the online, which is fine if that works for you. I think the meetings help me, as I've talked about before, and I think they helped you just because what you said. And maybe in college that's a big deal because you think everyone's perfect around you and it's not struggling with their weight or anything like that in college because no one talks about it. But when you would go to the workshops, you'd hear other people, so that might help too. So maybe it's not someone you could talk to on campus or in your family or friends, but at the meeting you could probably connect with someone there.
And I think for college students, the tendency would probably be to just do online, just because that's like
easier,
our generation and it's easy. But yeah, if you can do the meetings, I think
they're worth it. Try it.
Just try.
Yeah. I mean, they're very welcoming for the most part. And they were always very interested in what her journey was, I think, because you kind of stood out.
It was just very different than everyone else. But I also think, well, with everything you're doing too, I think social media is also kind of a cool place to connect with people.
Yes.
Even if you can't go to a meeting, like I get if people don't have cars or if people don't have a good meeting that they like or they just don't want to, like social media is kind of, it's like good and bad, but for Weight Watchers, like connecting with other people who are doing it, it can be really helpful. I've seen just through what you've been doing, and
people share snacks, they share meals,
and it's all ages, which is kind of cool. Like, you know, you get that variety and just get to connect with people online too. So
that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
If you want to do that, that's cool.
Anything else you would add to this? We're probably going to make this into 2 videos.
Yeah, it's getting long.
Because you've had a lot of good advice.
I'm just rambling.
No,
I didn't mean to just start giving advice.
No, that's what I'm asking for.
Okay,
so
good.
So anything else?
I just would say believe in yourself and don't be too hard on yourself because you're doing the best you can, and you should be proud of yourself for even trying.
Aww.
And even watching this video says a lot. So thanks for listening to us talk.
All right.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
Thank you guys, and leave. Hit the. Okay, tell them what. She helps me with this. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, www.after50, because I post like stuff I'm eating.
Yes, it's a
and
great
she can
account.
tell me what she can. Did I say that all right? She's the pro, but
yes,
okay.
And
comments if you have any suggestions or anything.
Yeah, definitely share your stories.
We'd love to talk.
Her, us, and just reach out. We're happy to chat with you.
We'd love it. Yes, and I'll put her links to A Genuine Girl in my description. I want to say notes. Show
notes is podcast.
Okay, see? Yeah, podcast world. But anyway, so that's it. And we will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.
And don't forget, live, laugh, lose.